Welcome to the Gleeful Meeple, a board game community that's your community too, no matter where you are. In this episode, we talk about the one, the only Magic the Gathering. We produce and ship goods in this week's game of the show, Puerto Rico. And you, the Gleeples, get to play along as the hosts get put in the hot seat with this week's game challenge. This is James.
This is JK.
This is Emily.
This is John.
John?
Dwayne.
Oh, this is Dwayne. I forgot that I had introduced myself, y'all.
Wait, aren't you dead?
I was like,
Wait, Dwayne's dead.
Wait, hold on. Dwayne, you sound very alive.
I got better.
Well, we're glad to have you back, buddy.
Thanks so much.
You made it just in
Rise
time for
from
the
your
riddle.
grave. Let's go. What we got, James?
I'm the youngest of three in this game trinity. Compared to my siblings, I deliver swiftly. Pick 2 of 6 or 1 of 3, 2 sides of the same, so choose wisely. You don't always want me when looking at menus, but many need me over what they choose. My namesake comes from a style of game where a lot is given for everything you claim.
I got it.
Oh, that was fast, Emily.
No
I'm
one
on a
else has it, huh?
roll.
Whoa.
Emily's on fire for the riddles here. What do
Yeah,
you got?
you missed my last one, Dwayne. It was pretty good, but I'll say it one more
Oh.
time for the listeners, not for Dwayne and JK. Definitely not for Dwayne, JK, or John. It's just the listeners. I'm the youngest of 3 in this game trinity. Compared to my siblings, I deliver swiftly. Pick 2 of 6 or 1 of 3, 2 sides of the same, so choose wisely. You don't always want me when looking at menus, but many need me over what they choose. My namesake comes from a style of game where a lot is given for everything you claim.
And would the answer be point salad?
It would be point salad.
Oh, nice.
Oh, man.
The best I was getting was through the dessert.
Oh, that's a good idea.
No one needs dessert, JK, though.
Sometimes they need that salad.
They need
Let's
those
be honest. We could all
veggies.
need a salad every now and then. That's it.
Nice.
Okay, I got to tell you guys, we have another recurring instance of weirdness happening around JK.
Uh-oh.
So last weekend.
So everyday regular life.
Yeah. This last week, I was able to attend Nashville Tabletop Day, sponsored by Meeple Mountain. Sadly, none of you guys made it, so I was kind of flying solo there with the rest of our Meeple
It's a
Gleeful Meeple
weird
group.
year this year for events.
Mhm.
Yeah. So there were a few upgrades. Andy had done some stuff with the app, which really made it kind of cool to track some of the games on the play to win, where they were in the inventory and how long people had them checked it out. That was kind of cool. But one other thing he announced, it probably is going to bring an end to a Nashville Tabletop Day tradition that James and I have. He had food trucks.
Oh.
So no more Chinese
China
buffet.
buffet.
No more Chinese buffet day. Andy announced real early in the day that there was going to be 2 food trucks and a coffee truck parked outside all day.
Oh.
And that we would have Thai food and hot chicken along with coffee.
I mean, you could have said any other thing but
I was
Thai
about to
food,
say.
Okay.
and I'm there.
So
James is so sad he missed out.
Here's where it gets weird, because at one point I got hungry, so I decided I'm going to go outside and look and see what these trucks look like. Friend of the show, Adam, had already stopped and tried the hot chicken truck and said, no, not good. Do the Thai truck if you're going to do anything.
Oh, that's sad.
So I did the Thai truck. I walk up to the Thai truck. I'm looking at their menu, and just nothing sounded appealing. And their truck was kind of dingy. I know they're food trucks, but it wasn't great looking. So I kind of just said, you know what? I'm good. I'll eat later. I'm fine. I'm going to go back in and play more. So I get through a couple more games. And eventually we start playing a game called Maki Master, which in Maki Master, you are putting together sushi. And as all 4 of us are playing it, we go, now we really want sushi.
Nah.
So a third random food truck shows up. And guess what it sells?
Oh, it was sushi?
Thai food.
Wow. Thai food.
So so I'm gonna take credit that we manifested a sushi truck by playing our game.
Did you eat the sushi?
I
Amazing.
did, and I did. It was great.
Okay.
We had bento boxes. They had all sorts of little
Aw.
fun and good stuff in there. It was a neat time.
That does sound neat.
I also think it's funny that my play style in Nashville Tabletop Day is vastly different than Tennessee Game Days. Tennessee Game Days, I'm hardcore.
It's a different
wanting to play
game.
games.
Or, I mean,
Yeah.
it's a different day.
Yeah, I want to get in there and
Yeah.
play and play and play. And Tabletop Day, I just felt okay just hanging out. And
You got to
chatting with
play all the
people.
play to wins to see if you
Yeah.
can win
Yeah.
something.
It was a good day. You guys should come next time. Oh, yeah. Why is John here?
So you did notice him too. Okay. Yes, there's a new voice in the booth today. Friend of the show / my partner, John, is here. Since we were talking about something called Magic the Gathering, I think. No, I know. But something I am not super well knowledgeable about, but I know John has played it. He has some friends that play it. And so I thought he would be able to join y'all and y'all be able to have a good conversation about it.
Let's talk about gathering magicians.
Yay.
So you gathered people for magic. Okay.
So I kind of find it hard to believe that none of our that we have any listeners out there that don't know what Magic the Gathering is. But let's kind of give a brief overview. This is a card game that came out in the early 90s to mid 90s.
Mm-hmm.
Early 90s is right.
Done by Richard Garfield. He is the primary designer. I don't believe he is involved anymore with current
Wait,
design.
is that Richard Garfield of Rocketville fame?
And King of Tokyo.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Bunny Kingdom.
Yeah, that's probably
Yeah.
probably a better game to bring up.
A lot of games under his plate. And I actually think he was involved with the reworking of Magical Athlete. This latest version as
Oh
well.
yeah, I think that's right. I think I did see his name
Yeah.
on there.
So, Dwayne, I think you and I have talked about this in the past. Which one of us found Magic first?
All right, JK, picture it. Chattanooga, Tennessee, April 1994. 4 Weddings and a Funeral had just hit theaters, and Mortal Kombat 2 was released on home consoles. I found myself working at a Blockbuster as a college freshman and made, when you work at a place a day-to-day, you meet the customers who kind of get what your vibe is all about. So I had found one of my fellow nerd customers, and he came in one day, and I just remember that this is like a core memory, and he's like, I have a game I need to tell you about. It's called Magic the Gathering. And he kind of walked me through it a little bit. And I was like, well, I guess I know what I'm doing after work. So I went and bought a deck and had absolutely no one to play with for the rest of my freshman year.
He didn't tell you it wasn't a solo game.
So
But I had pretty cards.
I think I found it right about the same time. I was living in Columbus, Ohio. And as you know, I've been an avid comic book collector my whole life. There was a really great comic store in Columbus called The Laughing Ogre that was just strictly comics. Nice place. That was my home store.
I love that name.
Yeah, but I got curious and wanted to see what some of the other stores in the city had to offer. So I drove all the way to the far side of Columbus to check out this other comic book store. And as far as comic books go, it was lame. It was horrible. But they had this whole counter display for this new card game that was out. And it was Magic the Gathering. It was actually in its beta edition at that time.
Oh, yeah.
I go way back. And so I bought a deck, kind of figured out how to play it. And they mentioned as I was buying the deck, hey, we're going to have a tournament next week. Why don't you come in and play? And I did, and it was fine. It wasn't super, super great. Went away from there for a while and circled back to them right about the time that 4th edition and Ice Age were coming out. And they remembered me from being in that tournament early on. And they said, hey, if you want to do something new, we have this thing called booster draft tournaments. And that format kind of sucked me in. And I went, this is really cool. And you would sit there all day and play cards. It was great.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
I got really, really addicted to Magic at that point and started buying deck after box, probably up through the time that Visions came out. That was one of the last expansions that I got involved with. And at that point, I said, I am spending way too much money on this game just to stay competitive. I think I need to step away.
John, you said you've played
Yeah.
Magic before.
Yeah. And the amount of money statement there is correct. It gets really expensive. A number of my friends will end up just proxying cards, just because we don't play competitively. We're not going to tournaments. We're not doing any of that with that nature. Thank you. But my exposure to that would have been probably feels a little intimate.
Well, you're exposing yourself to things. I mean, you're going to get intimate.
No, my exposure to that would have been probably in the last couple of years, but I had a previous background of playing Yu-Gi-Oh! And Pokemon like TCG at a younger age. So similar concepts, differences in how they play in some of the formats. And at this point, we exclusively play Commander, which is the 100-card deck with a dedicated card that is your commander, sometimes two, depending on the deck. But that is my exposure to it.
And is that where you have a 100-card deck, but you can only have one copy of each card other than lands?
For the most part, there are a handful of cards that will buck that one.
Okay.
The deck that I play the most often with is a mono black rat deck. And 25 of the 100 cards are Rat Colony, which is a 2/1. But for the most part, yes, you are correct.
Okay.
Yeah, Commander is really cool. I want to come back to that. My experience with Magic goes back to when I was a teenager. I've never purchased cards and decks. I just always played with my friends who had them. So I used a lot of pre-built decks or pre-con decks, but not they were purchased that way. They were just pre-made for me. So like red decks were just all damage. So I played some growing up. So I have some experience with it, but I've never owned it myself for the most part, and really haven't played any other collectible card games. But you mentioned, like you said, Yu-Gi-Oh, Pokemon. I mean, Magic the Gathering is what started all of that, and then all these others kind of came after that. And it's still the biggest. I think the second biggest is Pokemon. I think Pokemon is actually the biggest brand IP in the world, period. But I think it's the second biggest collectible card game.
The thing that really blows me away about Magic, since stepping away during the Visions era, I've since dabbled a little bit. I'll buy a deck here and there or a pack here and there and see what is like, what they've changed, what new rules are in play. I still have a box of cards that is massive. And not long ago, I decided to go back and organize it. But I needed to figure out what all these different sets were, because I have some from various little sets, and they all have different iconography on them from what expansion they come from. So I went online and found a website that actually has all of the symbols, and it tells you what order they came out in. Mm-hmm. I went on my tablet and started working my way through my set. Visions appeared on page 3 of their website. You kind of scroll through pages that had probably 20 or 30 symbols on each one. Visions was on page 3. There are 30 pages worth of symbols just to see how much they've done in the past 20, 25 years. It was insane.
That is insane.
Well, and I do think things escalated once Hasbro took over the game, because they used to have a pretty rigid release schedule. And now we're getting like new IP sets
every week
on a regular basis. Yeah, it really does feel like that. So I think there is some corporate greed that has caused the number of expansions to accelerate.
Well, and that's a great little bit of information you kind of dropped on us there too, Dwayne, because Magic, when it first came out, the company that produced it was just Magic, right? They were the company?
Or was it Wizards of the Coast?
So yeah. Wizards of the Coast, as a fairly large company, also purchased TSR. So they inherited the Dungeons and Dragons IP. And then since then, Hasbro has purchased Wizard of the Coast. So Hasbro, the juggernaut that owns every single American board game company pretty much, has the monopoly on Magic as well.
Now, one thing about Magic is not only was it the originator of the collectible card game and created a genre in and of itself, it's also kind of the lifeline, the lifeblood, you might even say, of board game stores. If Magic didn't exist, I mean, even board game stores nowadays, there are very few that don't rely on collectible card games as their biggest source of income. There's a few out there that I know of that don't do collectible card games at all. But for the most part, and for the longest time, you could not have a board game store without collectible card games. And attached to that, tournaments and weekend, all that kind of stuff, that being the main lifeblood of the store, the main source of revenue. If it didn't exist, board game stores would look completely different than they do nowadays. But even to this day, you walk into most stores, you're going to see a cabinet at the counter full of single cards you can purchase some are really rare and expensive, and weekend tournament events and all kinds of things that if that wasn't the case, that store wouldn't be open. So it set the stage for that to even be able to happen at all, for board game stores to be a thing.
I know for some time there was a store up near Rivergate Mall called Next Level Games that the last time that I was in there, they were mostly Magic games. And it was like display case after display case of open cards that they were selling. And then here's a rack of board games as well. So definitely was their wheelhouse.
Yeah, because I can think of a few around the area that they'll do like weekly tournaments. Some of them may be qualifiers for some of the larger tournaments options. But yeah, any game store you walk into, like you said, James, it's nothing but Magic for at least a good section of it. It's nice to see. It's a great way to build a community. It's a great way to get people out and doing stuff. That's a huge thing that I've noticed from the game, from playing it in the last couple of years, is it is a great way for me to get out and to play with new people because it is a very approachable card game. It's definitely something that, like I said, I don't do the tournaments and stuff, but it's a really cool thing that I see in a lot of game shops.
Dwayne, does your daughter still play?
Oh, yeah, she does. Has a huge collection of cards and plays every Wednesday.
Wow.
Well, to that point, John, you said it's approachable. One thing I was going to mention, and this goes back to JK, what you and Dwayne were mentioning, just about how often new stuff comes out. How it used to not be the case. It was more special when new stuff came out. So and of course, over the years, as a game ages, you start to introduce new mechanics, new keywords, new things. But it happened at a slower pace for the long time. Now there's so many new mechanisms and keywords you need to understand, ways the cards work, ways in which they interact. I think the base idea of how Magic plays is approachable, but I do worry that it's almost unapproachable for some because of how much it's changed over the years. But what do you think? You said in the last couple of years you got into it. Was that hard for you to overcome, or were you playing with people that kind of helped soften that entry for you?
So I think that's a fair statement to make. When I say that I find it approachable, I also have prior experience of playing Yu-Gi-Oh!
Oh, that's right. You said that.
At a semi-competitive level. I think I had some really great teachers. I think it's also one that Magic, as far as I know, they have discontinued these and not brought them back, and they may have come back, and my knowledge is minimal on that. They did have dueling deck packs for a long time where they were pre-built 2 decks, 60 cards each, that were specifically designed to play against each other. Those are where I initially learned. And I think those are something that you can still get on like Amazon and eBay for relatively inexpensive. And that ends up being a great way to start and learn. I think it's also one where you can go into a used game store or something like McKay's and grab a bunch of cards. And there is definitely variety in the wording that they use for some of the abilities, but a few of those are set specific, or they have some sort of other prerequisite kind of condition. I think you could pick up a lot of the core base concepts relatively quickly. Because it's a game that's been around as long as it has, there's also a ton of resources for new players, graphics that you can put next to on your phone involving like turn order. There's definitely more complicated cards, but I think it's definitely approachable, especially if people are interested.
Yeah, and that's a good point about the pre-constructed decks.
And I do find that some players are really great ambassadors of the game, and they keep decks on hand that kind of, that kind of hit the basics, don't have a lot of keywords, don't have a lot of text. It's like, the simple damage spells, simple creatures, that sort of thing, because it is helpful for new players to kind of get to get a deck that has just very basic rules in it, so you can kind of learn the flow of the game and then start learning keywords and special abilities and that sort of thing.
Well, that was one of the things that kind of was interesting when I was playing, was that they would come out with all of the different subsets, whether it was Ice Age, Mirage, Visions. But then every couple of years, they would come out with an updated basic set. And those often included key cards from some of the expansion sets that they came out with that they felt weren't complicating the game too much. So you constantly had that stream of a standard game, but then the expansions kind of gave you some of the fluff and the new rules and things. And I think that's kind of what they did with the dueling decks, is they just went from the basics to the duelings.
And a couple of things, we could wax on forever probably at Magic the Gathering. One thing I do want to mention is that Dwayne's giving me the wax on, wax off motion. Another way that you could probably make it easy to play, but then also get to engage with a lot of stuff, is Magic the Gathering Arena. It is the online version of Magic the Gathering. And while I haven't played a lot of Magic myself and not been on Arena, I really enjoy watching it. So there are YouTubers that I spend hours watching playing both Magic the Gathering Arena. Day 9 is who I like to watch. If you want to have someone pick somebody, that's great. But then also there's a YouTube channel called Game Nights, and Nights is Knights, and they focus on Magic Commander. And they are the best Commander channel because they've really upped their production level with graphics and and engagement, and it's a lot of fun. So it's just fun to watch. So if you want to just listen in and watch in on people playing Magic, watch Magic Arena and Game Nights.
Since James brought up Arena, I want to quickly say Gleeful Meeple, the podcast, is not responsible for any addiction you might acquire from trying Magic the Gathering or Magic Gathering Arena. All right, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, Gleeples of all ages. This episode's game of the show is Puerto Rico. Puerto Rico was designed by Andreas Sayforth. We released originally in 2002. It plays 2 to 5 people in theory, but it's at its most gleeful at 4 players. JK, tell us a little bit about Puerto Rico.
Puerto Rico is a classic strategy game about building an efficient colonial economy. But what really defines it is its clever role selection system and engine building. Each player develops their own island by constructing buildings, growing and processing crops like corn, indigo, sugar, tobacco, and coffee, and shipping goods for points or selling them for money. The core mechanic is choosing roles. On your turn, you pick a role like builder, mayor, or captain, which lets everyone take that action, but you get a small bonus for choosing it. That creates constant tension. You want to pick what helps you most, but you're also helping your opponents every time. In short, Puerto Rico is a tight economic machine. Every choice feeds into a bigger system, and the best players are the ones who can anticipate both the flow of the game and the moves of others. Puerto Rico.
It's tight, tight, tight.
Corn strat.
I don't understand what you guys are saying with the corn strat.
Move and Flow sounds like a movie from the early 2000s where it's about breakdancing and challenging people.
All right, so how do we get into this?
So this was Dwayne's choice. Dwayne, why don't you start out by espousing your love of Puerto Rico?
If I remember correctly, this was Dwayne's Pantheon edition?
I think so.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Explain yourself.
So here's some of what I love about Puerto Rico. The role selection system is really interesting, and it's something that I've seen copied in other games that have come out since then. And the idea is simple. There are a number of roles in the game, depending on how many players you have. When you choose the role, everyone gets, for the most part, everyone is going to get to do the action of that role. But the person who chooses that role also gets a special ability. The other thing I love about Puerto Rico is when I teach it, it's the idea of the buildings that you can buy throughout the game. Because when I'm teaching the game, I'm always like, okay, here are the rules, but now here's a building that breaks all these rules. There's almost anything you talk about during the rule teach of Puerto Rico, there's going to be a building that is going to break that rule. So if you're unhappy with a rule, you just how much does it take to make this rule go away?
And I really like
Emily, you look like you had a thought.
Yeah, with the
At least
buildings.
one.
I really like how the buildings can shape your strategy.
Sure.
Because I have seen people win, like we've talked about before, about like just locking in on a strategy, going all in and having that work for you. And I've seen people win with a variety of strategies, and those buildings were almost always like at the core of that win.
The other thing I like about the role selection is, and this is another feature that I've seen in a lot of games, you will not select all the roles over the course of a turn. Some roles will be left behind, and those roles are incentivized on future turns by adding money to them. So you may, at some point in the game, choose a role not because you want to do the role, the action of the role, or the special ability of the role, but simply because of the amount of money on that role makes it the optimal play.
So the game we played with 4 players, there were 7 roles to choose from?
I believe that to be correct, JK.
What gets stripped away with less players?
The prospector.
An extra
with
prospector.
Yeah, at 3 players, it's no prospector. At 4 players, 1 prospector. At 5 players, 2 prospectors.
Oh, okay.
And the prospector is just a direct way to get money.
Yeah, and it has no ability for the other players. It is the special action is you get $1. There is no base action on that. And of course, it should be said that this is all based solely on the original base version of the game. The updated 1887, some of these roles change names, and then with the expansion, you actually have completely different roles that will come in and take the place of other roles that do different actions.
I did feel like the one turn that I selected the prospector, that was kind of just like crap, I guess I have to take the prospector.
Sometimes that is the case, and sometimes it's like kind of delaying an action, hoping that like a different order of actions will help. One thing I like in this game, this is one of the very few games where I enjoy the player interaction of kind of like screwing someone over. Because it's one of those where it's like, and I think the difference my brain made is it's not that I'm screwing them over in a take that kind of way. I'm screwing them over in that I have prevented them from making an optimal move.
Okay.
So here's the thing about Puerto Rico, except for the victory points, everything is public information, right?
Yes.
So you have almost perfect information. You can tell, hey, if I captain here, there's 1 empty ship. I can put all my corn on that ship. That means no more corn can be shipped this round. James is sitting on 4 corn. He didn't get a warehouse to store his corn, so he is going to be hurting. This is the optimal play for me. Does it hurt James in the long run? Does it hurt James along with being the optimal play for me? Yes. Is that even better for me in the long run? Also, yes.
Because it's while Dwayne is gaining points, James is not gaining points and will therefore eventually lose his corn stash at the end of the round.
He's going to have to Boston Tea Party all that corn into the harbor.
Which may have happened to me. Dwayne is telling a story that is real that happened, and he screwed me on shipping. Yeah, this is a unique game that I agree. There's some take that in it that it's not the normal take that. I mentioned this a couple episodes ago, I think, where there's a few games. I'm not a big take that person, but I do have a couple that are fun take that, where it's just part of the game. It is what it is, and you have to accept it. And this is a unique piece of I would say, the take that kind of genre and how they present it. And Dwayne, back to what you were saying about, for the actions that don't get taken or the roles that don't get taken, they get coins put on them to make them a bit spicier. A lot of games do that. When you skip over this, you put a coin on each one, and eventually whoever takes it gets the card and the coins, whatever it is. And a lot of games, it's just kind of like an extra little bonus thing. It's not, there's other ways in the game to get money, and it's not a huge thing. Not in this game. Money is super tight.
There's so little money that one money is actually substantial.
Yeah, really substantial. And so that is part of the strategy is you're taking that stuff sometimes, yes, for the action, but because you need the money as well, because it's just so friggin' tight. And I really enjoy that actually of it. You have to think a few moves out to figure out, okay, I really want to buy that building. I'm 3 short. I'm not going to have 3 money for at least 2 turns. So I need the rolls to be taken in this order so I can do this, and you're thinking through all that stuff.
And hopefully prevent someone else from being on the most optimal build. Because that's where I felt like, so this is one of those games where like player order determines what your starting plantation is. And so Dwayne and I ended up with the corn plantation. Corn trades at a value of 0. And JK and James started with indigo.
I had indigo.
Indigo.
Which trades at 1.
1.
And so already JK and James are primed to be able to produce indigo and like get money for it. Where Dwayne and I are like, okay, the only thing we can do is ship for victory points. And so then immediately Dwayne starts getting the buildings that are like, get +1 doubloon at trading, get +2 doubloon for trading, like be able to trade the same good. I forgot what else you had, but it's like I said earlier, those buildings can just turn the game around. And if you can put a wrench in someone's plans to get them to like stall out enough, that can like make or break a game.
Worth noting, aesthetics. We played on BGA, so we didn't have a live copy in front of us. There has recently been a deluxe edition that came out that I believe Dwayne did back.
Oh my God, it's beautiful.
Yes, he has it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Friend of the show, Bill, backed it as well, and I have played his copy.
The deluxe edition, while beautiful, is a significant step up from the standard edition, which is not
very beige.
Not beautiful.
Not.
Yeah.
Man, the deluxe version is nice though. Ooh, howdy.
Dwayne,
But remember,
we're
talking about a game that is almost a quarter of a century old, y'all. This game was released in the early 21st century. That's insane. But yeah, the differences between the two are insurmountable. Now, just to be clear, the deluxe edition is based on the 1887 edition of Puerto Rico, so there's already going to be some changes there. I have not played the regular version of 1887, so I don't know how much the art changed from the basic version. But yeah, with the original version of Puerto Rico, you have the this is a Eurogame colored kind of board, right? The deluxe edition, especially because I went all in and got acrylic tiles, we have replaced, in 1887, we have replaced indigo with fruit. So there's actually, and all of the plantations have like little fruit trees and tobacco fields and things like that, like 3D models. You have actual workers that 3D miniatures, little bitty 3D miniatures of workers that you can place onto your plantations. I don't think they call them plantations in the new edition either. They kind of let that go in a different direction. Because what we're not really talking about is the issue with colonialism that came with the original edition of the game.
Yes.
And I don't know how much you all want to get with it. I was going to tell the listeners to do their own investigation. With 1887 being the easier to find version of the game these days, I think a lot of those issues have kind of been put to the side because there is a new edition of this really fantastic, incredible #1 on BGG for years game. But it made teaching original Puerto Rico very awkward when you didn't know the player base that you were teaching. So I'm really glad that they have the designer and the publishers and everybody kind of got behind the fact that we have a really, really solid game here. It is a little problematic. We are going to make a version that doesn't focus on those issues so much without changing the core gameplay at all, period.
For this game being out for so long, I hadn't played it I think I played it a long time ago once. I can barely remember it. But other than that, it being one of those classic Euros that I haven't played a lot of, I did play once recently. Like I said, friend of the show, Bill's brought his deluxe version over. That was my first time in a long time. And then recently for our play as well. And one thing it does really well, which kind of separates it from modern Euros, is it does keep things simple. Right? A lot of modern Euros throw extra little things in there that are just kind of you have to keep track of, and it complicates stuff. This is up during that time of Euros where it is straightforward. Now they do have expansions and things that switch that up, but I do really appreciate that once you kind of get the first couple turns in, you're like, there's nothing more to figure out. I get all the things. I know how they all kind of connect together. It's not complicated. So that was really nice.
I feel like this is a keep it to play for Dwayne.
Oh, 100%.
Yeah.
How about the rest of us?
It is a keep it to play for me. I bought Dwayne's edition or a used edition. A used edition in general. After Dwayne taught me, it was one of the early games of my tenure in this group. And it's Dwayne taught me well. Dwayne taught me the love of the game. And so I'm looking forward to getting my hands on to the special edition eventually.
James?
So this is a weird one for me. After my initial play recently with the big old deluxe version, which was really nice, after I played it, I walked away not really wanting to play it again. I wasn't sure what it was about it. I appreciate the design. I think it's a good game, but I wasn't excited to go back to it. Then we had our board game arena play, and so we're playing async, right? Or just over the course of a number of days. And I wasn't really excited until we sat down and started playing again together. We wrapped it up. We were playing async and we wrapped it up in real time together. And it got way more exciting. But the play also, it wasn't just because that we were around the people, the play changed. When you're taking actions back to back and seeing things happen in real time, it creates a different cadence because of the stuff you were talking about, Emily, with that take that. And Dwayne, you were mentioning, if I do this now, it means it's going to be efficient for me, but not efficient for so-and-so. And yes, you can see that in async, but the cadence is different when you're playing it in real time. And that had an impact on me actually enjoying it more on the second half. But that being said, I still think it's a trade it away for me. I'm not convinced yet, but I'm on the path to where I could change my mind later. For now, to trade it away because I'm still trying to figure out if I enjoy the play, like if I wanted to play it over and over again. But it did get more enjoyable, so I'll give it that.
Okay, I'll go a step further. So this is probably my fourth playthrough of this game all time. I actively dislike it.
No.
And I could not tell you exactly what about the game is driving that, but I just don't find it fun.
Sad.
At all. So yeah.
I also loved this at 5. This was, I think Dwayne taught me this game when we had 5 people. And so then I think that just notched a special corner in my brain of okay, this is 5-player worthy.
Yeah. Yeah. And
I honestly think it's, despite what BGG says, I think it's at its best at 5 because there's so little. You are active, always thinking. Because every time somebody does something, you have to respond. There's so little downtime at 5 players. It is. If I don't have time for Battlestar Galactica, this is going to be my 5-player game that I recommend.
Well, Dwayne, even though I didn't like the game, it was fun kind of playing half the game with you guys here together. That was nice.
Yeah.
I did not finish last.
Yeah.
I think that was
my
Emily.
corn strat. We decided there was only room for one person to succeed in the corn strat, and that was
true.
Dwayne.
Yeah. And,
but not even that
I
well.
Did bad. But yeah.
And despite Dwayne picking the game, James came out as our victor.
Hey-o.
By 1 point.
Yeah.
Oh, buddy.
I was shipping goods.
Oh, yeah. You shipped a lot of goods.
I shipped my pants.
I want to make an argument, and James, way to go. I don't want to take away from your victory, but this is going to be a butt sandwich.
I'm going to take it away.
If we had been playing live, there was a misplay I made, and I was so mad about it, but there was no way to undo it, and I was like, oh my God, because we were playing async, I wasn't thinking about where I was at that moment of the game. I was thinking about where I wanted to be, and I made a choice to sell corn for 0 because I had the small market, but I didn't have anybody working it yet, and so I ended up getting 0 for my corn when I really needed that dollar. But anyway, that's the dangers of playing on BGA and not thinking your turn through fully. So Yes, we are wrapping this up right now. Hey, what's our next game of the show, everybody?
Well, even though James won this season, it's in rotation and I am up next. So I'm going to kind of follow suit with a game that is also getting a deluxe edition very soon.
Ooh.
And I don't believe Emily has played this. I think the rest of us have. So we are going to jump into Concordia.
Oh, fantastic.
finally.
Yeah.
I get to see what it's all about.
About time.
Yeah.
All right. Well, speaking of future games of the show, is there a game you'd like us to play? Have thoughts about Concordia, Puerto Rico, or any other games we've discussed on this show? Shoot us an email for a chance to have your comments read on a future episode. That email address is pod@gleefulmeeple.com.
So I think we've talked enough about board games that it's time to play a game on air. No, not a board game. A game about board games. JK, what have you brought for us this week?
I really wanted to read some silly board game names to you guys.
Oh, this
so
should be
we are going to
interesting.
do a game that is a variation on 3 Truths and a Lie. And I'm calling it 3 Truths and a Lie, the On the Spectrum edition. So we are going to go in order. We'll start with James, then we'll move to Emily and Dwayne. They all have a first pick on these, and then in turn order, if they don't get it right, we'll offer up second or third place as well. What I'm going to do is I'm going to read you 4 board game titles. 3 of them I researched BGG and found that they were there. The 4th one I've made up entirely. You just have to tell me which of the 4 board games doesn't really exist. So
Let's go.
in the case of James going first, I'm going to read him 4 options. If he picks it correctly, he gets 5 points. If he does not, it will go to Emily with the 3 remaining options, who will get 3 points. If she misses it, Dwayne can choose from the remaining 2 for a possible 1 point.
Nice.
Fair
What's
enough?
the spectrum
Okay.
piece of this?
Because all of the games have colors in their title.
Aw, cute.
Nice.
Yay. So, James, are you ready?
Sure.
Your 4 games are Orange is the New Black, the game. Orange Revolution, Orange Crush, Civil War in the Ukraine,
Oh no.
or Oranges and Lemons, Here Comes a Candle.
Oh no, they're all orange.
What? Here comes a candle. What is? Did you run these through Microsoft Translator?
Nope.
Is that-
I'll give these again. Orange is the New Black, the game. Orange Revolution, Orange Crush, Civil War in the Ukraine, and Oranges and Lemons, Here Comes a Candle.
Orange Crush, Civil War in the Ukraine is not a game.
That is not correct.
Wow.
Emily, from the remaining 3. Orange is the New Black, the game. Orange Revolution, or Oranges and Lemons, Here Comes a Candle.
That last one is just so random. I'm going to say Orange Revolution.
That is not correct.
Yeah.
Dwayne, from the remaining 2, which one is not a real game? Orange is the New Black, the game, or Oranges and Lemons, Here Comes a Candle?
Well, I want to say the last one, but I'm actually going to go with Orange is the New Black. The game.
There is no board game for Orange is the New Black.
No
Congratulations.
way.
Yeah, I mean, it seemed like a weird thing, but I was like, it's an IP. Surely they're trying to make money off of it.
All right.
Interesting.
Emily, first one on to you.
Okay.
Green with Envy, Green Day, Playing with Matches, Green Lantern, Power of the Ring, or Green Glass Door?
Green Glass Door.
Green. That's your choice?
Yeah.
That is not correct.
Sad.
All right. Dwayne, from Green with Envy, Green Day, Playing with Matches, or Green Lantern, Power of the Ring?
I'm going to go with the first one, JK.
Green with Envy is not a game. Congratulations, Dwayne. 3 points there for
Wow.
you. And it's over to Dwayne's turn. Your choices are Redneck Life, Red Vengeance, Red Red Wine, or Red Light, A Star is Porn.
Red
Okay.
wine.
So I happen to know one of those is a game because I've played it before.
Oh, I've got to know which one.
I'll have to
yet,
say
yeah.
afterwards, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, tell us, Dwayne.
All right.
Yeah.
Run through them for me one more time, JK,
Those are-
if you would.
Redneck Life, Red Vengeance, Red Red Wine, and Red Light, A Star is Porn.
I want Red Light, A Star is Porn to be a game so bad I'm not going to choose. I'm going to go with Red Red Wine.
Red Red Wine is not a game. Good job, Dwayne.
Wow. Boo. Which one did you know?
Redneck Life. That is
Okay.
What's great about that game is there are actual pictures of redneck cars in that game, and they are
Nice.
glorious. If you see that game anywhere, pick it up just to take a look at those car cards. They are delightful.
I feel
All
like
right.
going
Beautiful.
first in this game has been a disadvantage.
All right, we're back. Well, he just got it on his
Not
first
for me.
pick. Yeah. We're back around to James. James, your choices are Blue Banana, Blueprints of Mad King Ludwig, Blue Light Special, or Blue Monday.
Okay. One more time.
Blue Banana, Blueprints of Mad King Ludwig, Blue Light Special, or Blue Monday.
I'm going to go with Blue Monday.
Blue Monday is not a game. Good job,
There you
James.
go. You got
Wow.
one.
All
I knew
right.
one of them was a game.
Wait, JK, is Blue Light Special like a Kmart game?
It's a Kmart
That's what I was
game.
thinking.
Yes.
That's gotta be.
That's
Oh.
amazing.
Yep.
I love that.
And I knew Blueprints of Mad King Ludwig
Yep.
was the roll and write.
I knew that one.
Version.
I was trying to throw you guys for a loop with that. No, he made that up. That's not the real title.
I put that as a game on the New Year's episode last year.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Emily, your
Okay.
choices are Purple Meeple Eater, Royal Purple, The Color of Kings, Poor Choices, The Purple Rain Expansion, or Purple Nurple.
I'm gonna go with the third one. Poor choices.
The Purple Rain Expansion?
Yeah.
That is actually a game.
Ugh.
Dwayne, Purple Meeple Eater, Royal Purple, The Color of Kings, or Purple Nurple?
I feel like I've heard of one of those before. Purple Nurple's too funny. I'll go with the royal one.
Royal Purple, The Color of Kings is a game.
Oh.
James, you are choosing between Purple Meeple Eater or Purple Nurple.
Purple Meeple Eater.
Sadly, that's a game as
Oh.
well. Purple
Yeah,
Nurple
that's-
does not exist.
Okay.
How's that not a kid's game? Come
I
on.
know. I know.
Purple Nurple, the game of sexual assault.
All
Nope.
right.
Out.
Emily's saying no.
Out.
This one's over
Sorry,
to Dwayne.
James.
This one's over to Dwayne to start with, and boy, is this an ironic one for him to have. So we have The Haunting of Indigo House, Indigo Taxidermy, World Breakers, The Indigo Sisterhood, or Small Indigo Plant.
Oh.
Small indigo plant.
That is actually a game.
That's wild. I love it.
James, The Haunting of Indigo House, Indigo Taxidermy, or World Breakers, The Indigo Sisterhood.
Indigo Taxidermy.
That is not a game, correct?
Wow.
So
Hey,
3 points
well
for
done.
you. 3 points for you. Just where we stand right now, Dwayne has 9, James has 8. Emily's happy to be here. All right, James, you're going first on this one.
I feel like Emily got skipped at some point.
No, I
No.
did very bad on the purple
She did
one.
purple.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah.
That's right.
James, Don't Eat the Yellow Snow, Yellow Car, No Returns, Yellow Hair, or Red Letter, Yellow Letter.
Well, there's a life lesson in there that I know to be true, but I don't know if it's a board game or not.
It was all yellow.
What's the second one?
We have Don't Eat the Yellow Snow, Yellow Car, No Returns, Yellow Hair, and Red Letter, Yellow Letter.
Yellow car, no returns.
That is actually a game.
What? Not taxis?
I don't know. Emily, Don't Eat the Yellow Snow, Yellow Hair, or Red Letter, Yellow Letter.
I'm going to go with yellow hair.
Yellow Hair is actually a game.
Oh, my word. I'm really good at picking games.
Dwayne, Don't Eat the Yellow Snow, or Red Letter, Yellow Letter.
Again, I want Don't Eat the Yellow Snow to be a game, so I'm going to go, I don't know, but red yellow letter is such a clever name. I don't know. I'm going to say Don't Eat Yellow Snow is not a game.
Don't Eat Yellow Snow is not a game. Congratulations, Dwayne.
Hey!
Hey.
All right, Emily.
Yep.
Gold Digger, Golden Balls, Gold, the Justin Bieber DVD game, or Bullfrog Goldfield.
I'm going to go with the Justin Bieber DVD game.
That is 5 points for Emily. Good
Yes!
job.
Hey, let's
On
go,
the board.
Emily.
Let's go.
All right. Dwayne, over to you. Hot Brown Surprise, Brown Water Subs, A Charlie Brown Christmas, or If It's Brown, Flush It Down.
I hate all of this so much.
Some more life
my
lessons in there.
So I feel like it's going to be a real upset if Charlie Brown is not a game. And it's been out for so long. It seems like somebody would have co-opted a Christmas special that is anti-commercialism into a commercial game. What was just the first one, JK? Let me hear that again.
Oh, I'll go all of them. So we have hot brown surprise.
No, I don't like it.
No.
Brown.
Are we leaving this in, or are you taking that from the top, JK?
No, we're going.
Or from the bottom, as it may be.
Yeah.
Okay, please. You're going to have to cut that Zoom
it's all staying
segment.
in.
No, cut the Zoom segment and post it in the Discord for a sneak peek.
All right. Those choices are hot brown surprise, brown water subs, a Charlie Brown Christmas, or if it's brown, flush it down.
I'm going to go with Charlie Brown Christmas.
That is actually a game.
Okay.
James, your choices
Should've
are
bet
hot
on
brown
yourself.
surprise, brown water subs, or if it's brown, flush it down.
Brown water subs for 3, 4.
I really should give 2 points for this, but you didn't get it right anyway. So, Emily, hot brown surprise, or if it's brown, flush it down.
I'm going to go with hot brown surprise.
That is actually a game.
Oh,
If it's
word.
brown, flush it down was the curveball there.
See, okay, because you did
Nice.
that with the yellow snow and that wasn't a game. So I was like, okay, that wasn't a game. So
Yeah.
obviously brown flush it down is going to be a game for some reason.
All right.
And I was wrong.
It's a solo game.
Yes. Each of you is going to get one more to start with. Dwayne has 10 points. James has 8. Emily has 5. It is anybody's game.
Let's bring it back.
James.
yay.
James. Ram anything painted gray. The gray stuff. Way too many gray cats. Or red versus gray.
Way too many gray cats.
Is actually a game.
Lame.
Emily. Ram anything painted gray. The gray stuff. Or red versus gray.
I'm going to go with the gray stuff.
It tastes delicious, but it's not a real game. Emily gets 3 points.
Bam.
Let's go. We're tied.
All right. And Emily has the next one. Your choices are Black Mold, Black Abbey, Black Magic Ritual Kit, or Black Elephant.
Black old.
Oh, my word.
Won't you come?
I'm going to go for Black Abbey.
Black Abbey is correct. Good job.
I was
job.
like, you're not messing
13
with me.
points.
Wow.
So Dwayne, if you take this one from the first guess, you're going to win. Otherwise, it looks like Emily's going to take this home. So, Dwayne, your choices are Pink Chibi Thulu, Pinky Lee and the Runaway Frankenfurters, Pink Panda's Pajama Party, or Pink Drink.
Pink drink.
Pink Drink is correct.
Dang.
And we have a final score. Dwayne of 15, Emily 13, and James with 8.
Ooh, final round.
Oh, man.
Went crazy.
Big wins.
That was delightful, JK.
It was fun.
Thanks, guys. That brought a lot of color to this conversation.
Yeah, it was a
You
nice
were
surprise.
Yeah.
But not like a brown surprise.
Not a brown surprise. I really need to go see what the game Hot Brown Surprise is. That kind of reminds me. Look it up on BGG. It's there. All right, that's going to do it for today, folks. Thank you for listening in and joining us on our journey through Puerto Rico and all the colors of the wind. If you're at the mall, swing by Walden Brooks. It's your guide to great reading. Get all your latest periodicals and book choices there. Come back and see us when we are back on the air in a couple weeks. Thanks, everybody. You can contact us at pod@gleefulmeeple.com or follow us on Instagram at @gleefulmeeplepod. We'll see y'all soon. Bye.
Bye, Gleeples.
Bye, everybody.
Bye.